3 to 2, we're gonna do the invocation first before the Pledge of Allegiance. Can we all please stand? I'm gonna just say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Now we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Consideration and possible action to approve agenda for August 10th, 2026.
We don't have everybody here, but I'll move to approve the agenda for tonight. Mr. Mayor?
I'll second.
There's a motion made by Commissioner Otero, Counselor Otero, and a second by Counselor Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
you can't do that.
Because there's 9 no.
You will have to vote, and you
Oh.
can vote on this issue because of this very narrow circumstance.
Thank you, Counselor, I
Yes.
appreciate it. I also vote yes. So it passes. Number 5, consideration and possible action to approve minutes for July 6th, 2026.
Again, I've read through them and I found no discrepancies, so I will move to approve the minutes of our last meeting, July 6th.
There's a motion made by Counselor Otero. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
There's a second by Counselor Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
I say aye also. Any opposed? It passes. Department reports. Fire Department.
Good evening. Alright, so for fire calls in July, there was 21 total, 12 of which were in Peralta, the other 9 were mutual aid. We responded to 19, 11 were in Peralta, 4 outside fires, 1 motor vehicle accident, 2 public service calls, 3 false alarms, and 1 smoke check, and the other 8 were mutual aid. For EMS, we had 58 total calls, 24 were in Peralta, 34 in Boston Farms, responded to 42, 14 in Peralta, 28 in Boston Farms, did 4 transports, 2 in Peralta, 2 from Boston Farms. We got approved for our EMS grants, so one of them was $234,135 for a new ambulance, and then the second one was $71,220 for EMS supplies through the EMS Bureau. Any questions?
Any questions, Council?
Well, I have a quick question. So we received money for an ambulance? Have we put in to purchase that ambulance?
We just got that money this fiscal year.
And Steve, you're aware of that, I'm sure.
Yes.
Well, both Steves.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes, sir.
Did we receive the one, we were getting the one from Moriarty, right?
Yes, it's still in the shop.
It's still in the shop?
Since we got the $71,000, I was able to purchase another part of the gurney that we needed. So that's 3 weeks out. And then, well, hopefully now by 1 more month, we'll have it.
I see. So this 234,000, and that will have 2 we'll have 2 ambulances?
Correct.
I see, okay.
So one will be brand new versus the other one that's used.
Yeah, that we just made this purchase agreement. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Ashley. Police Department.
Evening, Mayor, Councilors. How are you? Okay, July's monthly, calls for service, Peralta was 170, it's gone up. last page, we had, drone launchers at 4, but they were just stuff for events and stuff right now, so we can call outs. Stand for any questions? Oh, we also got grants too for 5 vehicles, 1 patrol truck and 3 e-bikes.
Nice. Chief, just a question,
Yeah.
where it says, the vagrant way up there,
Uh-huh.
is that just something that, are they passing through, or are they just kinda
It's passing through, it's coming from Los Angeles.
trying to get to Albuquerque or wherever?
Yeah, so we very efficiently, nicely take them back to where they were at, so we
Okay.
can keep the calls down. So that's, it's just gonna be a call for the unbothered businesses and stuff like that.
Loitering
Yeah,
until,
loitering.
till they get a ride somewhere?
Right. And we're happy to give that right.
Yeah, I'm happy to. Any questions? Chief? Thank you, appreciate it. Counselor Otero, you wanna give the court report, please?
That's also short and sweet. Fines were in the amount of $3,091. 27 cases were adjudicated for that total, $3,091 for the month of July, I'm sorry, that was the month of July. And that's it.
Thank you. Clerk report.
Good evening. The community center is looking very nice, inside and out. The flooring is gonna be, expected to be installed next week. And the front entrance, I really like the front entrance, I don't know if anybody's noticed, it's very nice. And the entrance itself with the glass windows, very nice. And 3B Builders is targeting to complete by the end of August. Okay, so I went, 3B Builders came over and they had a camera go down through our clean out line using, the camera. And the video showed that there's a 2-inch pipe located, they weren't able to go up and look into the pipe at all. But this building was built in 1987, and it was, I believe it was like a foster home or something?
There were apartments.
Apartments, and so there's,
There
there
were four
was
apartments.
so there's rooms everywhere. There was kitchens, there was sinks, so nobody knows what was going on in there. And if you look into the, lobby area, there's where a wall once was, and that's kind of pretty close to where that leak was. So what they would like to do is they would like to, go up into the attic, look through the fitting and the piping. We do have this serious sewer smell in here that's been here since, like, apparently since we moved in here. And, so they wanna go ahead and look at that, and they'll give us an estimate for the cost of construction. There is no immediate estimate until they know what the problem is. And they do have a video, if you guys wanna see the video of the camera video of the pipe. So then, okay, so, we have co-op, we have 558,000 grant, 323 grant received in August 19th, 24 earmarked for Burge, Dino, Jolly roads. The cost estimate to pave the Burge Road is $488,148, excluding MRGCV, or MRG tax, and also professional service estimated at $114,935. As a result of the grant funding will be insufficient to complete all 3 road projects at this time. Dino and Jolly courts will be deferred for paving at a later date. The town of Peralta has general fund money earmarked to cover the additional costs associated with Burge Road if needed. So that's what the cost estimate came in at, $488. So, talk more about that. And the vehicle backup on Molina during, when school is dismissed. I did speak with the superintendent's office. The superintendent was out there today, and he's gonna get back with us tomorrow. They're trying to assess the issue and try to figure out what they can do about this. We believe a lot of it is because now it has the pre-K, so more parents are picking up kids instead of having them on buses.
Corey, I did get a call from police officer today about that.
Okay,
So,
Rick, he's the one that farms our property over there. And he asked if he could, it's kind of confusing, he asked if he could repair the fence that is, when we talked about, that was on the east side of Molina, or it's on, from the gate to the east side on Molina. And he has a bunch of material that he could use, the T-post, wire, bob wire, that he would like to go in and, it's all in good shape, and he would like to go ahead and replace that. And get that post that's kinda leaning really bad, get that fixed, and he also wants to put some millings there. I didn't know, and Claudio and I had talked about this earlier today, if we wanna go ahead and let him go ahead and use that, the materials that he has from, it's some old fencing, but it's all in good shape, according to what, Mike stated.
Can I comment on that?
Yes.
I did get someone out there to give us a bid on it, repairing that fence, putting new gates, a couple of corners, and putting us a walk-in gate off of 47 on the side there, I'm talking about Fifth County. And he gave us, well, I think you guys all have one?
No, I
Everybody
just-
else? He gave us an estimate of $5,244.96 to get it done. So I don't know how you guys want to do this. That sounds good, you can do it, but these guys replacing gates and all. And this is what this guy does.
That's his
But
labor.
it needs to be done.
Yeah, but that-
We don't have a fence there anymore.
Okay, yeah, but we can't, that's not part of the agenda, so.
Right, exactly. Well, if we could get it in or whatever,
Yeah.
like I say, I really would like to get this in the agenda, but it has to be done. And another thing there, since we're talking about this, we have a bad gopher problem there.
Mike, so,
Right now, if we were to have a fiestas there, man, with all them homes right there, there's a hazard right there. And it can't be done.
right, Mike farms the land there, so he's very much aware of it. And, so, he's dealing with that situation. So, Mike Shrek is, yes. And the gophers, yes. The prairie dogs, yes. He's dealing with them. Mhm.
Any questions? No.
Okay, thank you.
Finance report.
Mayor, good evening. The month of July started out easy. Our GRT for the month of July was net $109,791.55. Our big revenue, large revenues received in the month of July, we received April and May fire and EMS. The fire was excise tax I'm talking, $13,749. EMS, we received $25,328. Our combined fuel tax was $5,644. Cannabis was net $1,466. We received a P&M franchise for $16,251 and universal waste for $4,207. And we received a residual on the mill levy for the month of May, $7,877. We also received two large reimbursements on the community center that total $253,191. We have our fund report here and our P&L. If you have any questions, the yellow column is the current year budget for 27. Any questions? That's my report.
Any questions, Councilman?
No.
Counselor Smith, any report?
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Counselor Moya?
I think I just did mine.
Counselor Lucero?
No report. I was gonna ask about the congestion on Molina Road as well, but that's been addressed, so we're okay.
The only thing I have to report is I attended the grand opening at the elementary, Peralta Elementary School. It was very exciting and the positive response that the residents had over there, just and how many people showed up, and it's a beautiful place. So I was happy to be invited, and I was very impressed by how the school was built and the way it looks, and just it looks like the educators that are going to be there just seem very excited to get to work. So just want to say that I was impressed. So if anybody gets a chance, go take a walk through it. It's very nice. So public comments. Everybody?
We have Los Angeles High School DECA here to present.
All right, Las Unas High School. Who's coming up? Dress for success. All right.
Good evening, council members and community members. I'm Dominique Benson, the 2026-2027 chapter president.
My name is Hannah Sage. I'm the competitive events director.
I'm Caitlin Johnson. I'm the vice president of finance.
I'm Landon Baca, the Vice President of Hospitality.
You may be wondering what DECA is. DECA is a global organization that prepares emerging leaders and entrepreneurs in marketing, finance, hospitality, and management, while connecting these skills to the real world. In 2024-2025, we had 158 members, and increased this to 314 members in 2025-2026. And at the beginning of this year, which was 2 weeks ago, we were able to welcome 350 business students and DECA members. This growth made us the largest DECA chapter in New Mexico, as well as getting us recognized as the fastest growing chapter in state history within 3 years.
This is our second year applying for the state chapter distinction. Last year, we successfully achieved a gold certification in our school-based enterprise, making us one of 3 first-year New Mexico schools to achieve this award for the 2025-2026 school year. This demonstrated our strong leadership, organization, and structure. We also achieved gold level certification in multiple campaigns, including membership, promotional, and community service campaigns. And this year, we will be applying for Chapter of the Year, which is an honor that recognizes local chapters for outstanding membership growth, community service, and leadership development, which is what we have worked towards the past 4 years of our chapter.
In our second year as a chapter, we had 10 students attend ICDC Internationals. This past year, we increased that amount to 25 students qualifying to compete at the national level in Atlanta, Georgia. Next year, we're setting out goals to increase 25 to 35 and send some students home with the prize DECA glass. We have also been able to welcome about 150 new students and DECA members who are eager to join and be involved in our club and community. I'm happy to share that in Atlanta, one of our past officers, Isabella Ortiz, placed in the top 10 internationally in her event. This experience reflected the level of preparation, professionalism, and dedication she and our members brought to the competition.
While these opportunities are valuable not only for our chapter, but each individual student, they come at a cost. The total cost per student to attend internationals was about $1,800. On average, each student had to pay $1,100 out of pocket. With a fully scheduled and operating school store, that cost could have been reduced to approximately $300 per student. Our DECA store is a student-run business that generates funding while giving students real-world experience. In 2025, we generated about $30,000 in revenue, and in the middle of 2026, we reached around $30,000 again, and we were on track to exceed $45,000 to successfully support our students going to internationals before challenges impacted our operations. At the beginning of last school year, we offered a wide variety of items, including ice cream, slushies, hot foods, and many other popular student options. However, as the year progressed, we faced increasing restrictions on what we could sell and how we were able to operate. We were no longer allowed to sell hot foods, use certain equipment, or offer any of our wanted items. By the end of the year, we were limited to selling only 2 items, those being baked chips and zero-sugar sports drinks. As a result, our revenue potential was significantly reduced. This directly increased the financial burden on our students and limited their access to opportunities like competitions and leadership experiences, causing some students to cancel their attendance to the opportunity-filled international trip to Atlanta. It also reduced the hands-on business experience that makes DECA so valuable. This impact affected every student in our program and at our school.
This school year, we are no longer allowed to serve at a fully functional school store. This limits the amount of funding we receive as a chapter and job readiness we can provide to all students. But despite these challenges and setbacks, our chapter remains committed to serving our community. As of last year, we completed 8 DECA campaigns, official DECA campaigns, and organized multiple drives, including donations, awareness campaigns, and community cleanup efforts. This year, hoping to double the number of community services we can provide. Our members consistently demonstrate the leadership skills through service and outreach.
Last year, we secured approximately $10,000 in sponsorships. About one third of that support came from the Village of Los Lunas. We are incredibly grateful for this contribution as it directly supported student opportunities.
DECA isn't just about a store and taking trips. DECA is about the 350 Los Lunas High School students gaining leadership skills, real-world experience, and opportunities that prepare them for the future. Without access to resources, those opportunities become limited. Moving forward, we are focused on expanding partnerships with local businesses and organizations. Along with that, we are seeking grant and sponsorship opportunities to help create a more sustainable funding system for our chapter. With these possibilities, our chapter could develop further and thrive in ways it hasn't before.
We are also looking to create internship opportunities for our members in areas like business, marketing, finance, and public service. These experiences would allow students to apply their skills in a real-world settings within our communities.
We're asking for your support in 3 key ways. First, by connecting us to sponsorship and grant opportunities. Second, by letting students showcase their leadership and community skills. And third, by supporting internship opportunities for our eager members who want to gain experience. Your support can make a direct and lasting impact. Because DECA is a launch pad for future leaders, entrepreneurs, and professionals who will one day pour back into this community. With your support, we can continue creating these opportunities. We thank you for your time and be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Very good articulation and the way you guys speak. So keep it up. For being that young and being able to get up here and talk to us, it's just very sharp of what you're all doing and learning and becoming young adults. So just want to say thank you for that. Appreciate it.
A couple things. You said you just said that there was 3 things you were requesting of us. First was sponsorship, second was just be able to showcase your skills. What was the third again? I'm sorry.
Internship opportunities.
Internship. And you said you were unable to get funding as you had in the past. What mandate, where did that mandate come from that prohibits you from?
It came in the middle of the year, probably 3 months before we were going to Atlanta. We were unable to, from the health directors, we were unable to sell anything out of the concession stands, and they shut down not only us, but all of the other clubs that were selling approved products.
Thank you.
Would you like to introduce your sponsor, teacher sponsor?
Oh yes, our advisor, Mr. Cole, has gotten us through all of this.
Thank you, Mr. Cole.
Gladly.
Mayor, may I please address the mayor and the council with Mr. Cole? I'd like to ask him a couple of questions for further understanding of how far this program has come. Mr. Cole, when did you return to Los Lunas High School?
2023.
And was there any kind of business program going on at the high school at that time?
None.
It was decimated by pandemic, is that true? Teachers retiring?
Retiring, and they were never replaced.
So 3 years ago, there was no business program at the high school. And in 3 years, to have 350 students, members right now, and 25 of them last year qualifying for international, I believe is a remarkable effort on his part, as well as the students, for what they do. Mr. Cole's been a dedicated, teacher in the Los Lunas schools for
34 years.
34 years. And he has no plans to retire yet. Anyway, I just want the governing body to understand that these kids have come from nothing in 3 years. And, by his leadership and their dedication to what they enjoy doing.
Steve, didn't we talk about this previously?
I mentioned it,
I thought
in
so,
June.
because I thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, I thought we had some funding available for,
We do.
we do.
We have $5,900 left from, wastewater's, youth donation that they give us every year. It's for youth programs such as these.
Counselors, Mr. Mayor, the way that works is, you know, it would be a violation of the state's constitution for the town to donate directly from taxpayer funds. But because every now and then businesses donate to the town and they place those donations into a fund to be used for donating to, causes, you can do that without violating the state constitution. So that's what I believe this is.
And that's the $5,000 that
Correct.
we have,
Yes.
as I recall.
Yes, Councilman.
And so that hasn't been allocated currently, right? We haven't allocated that
No,
5,000.
we have not.
You're waiting for us to come up with direction.
Suggestions, as we've done in the past.
Okay, thank you.
Questions? You know, we're not, making a decision now as to what our donation would be to come up with that.
Yeah, we will be, assisting.
I'm sure we will.
Yes. We will let our treasurer contact you, once we figure out, how we wanna move forward with this. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation.
Yes. Number 9, discussion of full-time/part-time employee for the Peralta Community Center. Counselor Smith, I'll let you start that.
Sure, thanks. So, if you remember the last couple months, I've requested that we put this on the agenda to discuss, and also I requested that I be allowed to put a committee together to start researching salary, what the scope of, the job would pertain to, as a director, as a full-time director, hours of operation that we're gonna have this community center, in operation or open to the public, as well as we have a game area that we allocated in the building, so we could start looking at acquiring, pool tables and game stuff to fill that space. That's, I don't know if that's the right direction. I just thought that we gotta start moving on that, because the thing's gonna be done according to the clerk. There's talking about finishing it by the end of the month. And we don't have anybody to actually be our director to start, working on scheduling for senior events or for, meals. You know, and I know in Bosque Farms, I think they have lunches and they have exercise, dance, days and things like that, so, and that's what I foresee. I see having a director that is reaching out to the community and saying, you know, we're gonna start scheduling, pool leagues for the game room, or with our youth, things of that nature, with Girl Scouts to be able to use the facility maybe for whatever the needs they have. And for the seniors, perhaps, you know, meals at noon or something of that nature, and bingo or exercise or dance classes or whatever it is. But, until we're able to sit down and figure out how we're gonna afford that, what we're gonna do for an employee, that's the direction I'm trying to go with this.
Well, I have no problem with starting a committee or doing something like that to pursue it.
You wanna be on it?
Maybe.
Okay, good.
But we need to start talking about something, whether it's, our clerk is loaded. Our secretary probably could squeeze in the time.
is for this director also to be the one that, implements the events that is leased out. You know, when we do lease the center out for events, those kinds of things.
Now, again, I don't know if it requires full-time, part-time, I mean, it's something we'd have to talk about.
What I would like, I guess, also is that, yeah, I think we need to figure something out with community center, but also I think if we're gonna start looking at creating a job or a part-time job, I think we should, work as a whole to figure out if we're gonna create a job, is that the job we need, or do we need something more within the realm of, you know, whether it's code enforcement, whether it's, whatever our people, do we need that more than we need another body to alleviate some of the pressure from the clerk, or, so maybe that frees up time from them to maybe do stuff over there?
I just don't see, I don't see how it's
Yeah.
gonna work. Because there's two separate facilities, I don't see how the staff here is going to be able to do anything over there. And if we're gonna have a community center, what good is it if it's not open? I mean, somebody has to open and be there. I mean, we can't just unlock the door and say, open, no supervision there. So that's why I say, I think it needs to be a full-time position. Now, I believe in Bosque Farms, I don't know this for a fact, but I think that a lot of times they'll have it open from 8 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. But if Girl Scouts or somebody, Boy Scout, whatever it is gonna come in, they unlock for them at 6 in the evening, and then they lock after themselves, something of that nature. But I just don't see how our staff is going to be able to add community center director to the, I don't think that's what the clerk or the deputy clerk or code enforcement or any of those people are hired right now to do.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's that, it's like, where's more of the necessity, to the residents of Peralta. Steve, where are we at, like, as far as numbers wise, and like, what's your, as far as this year versus the next fiscal year, what's?
Mayor, council, you know, I do, Councilor Smith is correct, we do need a position over there. But I'd like to remind this governing body that 3 years ago, it approved an increase to our municipal GRT to 8.3%. At that time, the purpose of that increase was for public safety, for animal control, code enforcement, public works, fire department, and especially emergency medical services. So we're now trying to establish an EMS department that's 24/7 with 2 full-time technicians and at least 16 part-times. We have 1 full-time and 10 part-time currently. So we've increased that budget from 60,000 over the past several years to 200,000 for this fiscal year 27. And that's regardless of whether the Village of Bosque Farms enters into an IGA with us for EMS services. That's uncertain at this time, but we're committed. We have leaders in Fire Chief Kersey and EMS Director Means to establish this 24/7 operation. If you want to talk numbers, the minimum wage still currently is $12 per hour. On a full-time basis, with taxes, employer pay taxes, PERA, and a health insurance, that would be $47,325 per year. On a part-time, that would still be $30,800 without the PERA, just wage, tax, and health benefits. When evaluating this with the budget, our focus is being directed more need towards EMS and a 24/7 operation. We have an increase for VREC for dispatch. It went up to $25,000, so it went from 57 to 82,000 for this fiscal year. We also have the absence of law enforcement protection of 95,000 that will be coming out of the general fund, we have to compensate for out of the general fund. And, those are concerned whether there's an actual need at this time, for the center. Yes, we do get phone calls in the springtime for graduations and such. For receptions and birthday parties and graduations, so, it just appears that this request is a bit premature, in my view, for this fiscal year.
So let me ask you, Treasurer, I'm looking at the fund balances and under total cash deposits, is that total cash on hand for the town of Peralta, total cash deposits? $7.5 million, is that?
That is correct. That includes investments and wastewater account and general fund.
So I don't think municipalities are supposed to hoard money. I think we would be able to use our money for the benefit of the community. So we have a huge investment in a community center. And now we're spending a lot of money to remodel it. And we're not gonna open it? We're not gonna be able to operate it? I mean, how are we gonna do this?
No, I think, Councilman Smith, I agree with you. I think I think we put this on the next agenda to, create a committee. And that would give us more direction on how we go. I don't know if it's something that maybe each councilman can, recommend somebody for the committee itself, if they can't be on it. To kind of give us a report on what they come up with. Maybe we can do something like that, or did you have a recommendation?
However, I just feel like that is the right direction, is to put a committee together, and this committee then can do the research on, again, job description, what we expect of this. And there is possible revenue to come from this facility. The events, as you mentioned, is one, but we need a director to be able to handle that, open for that, for the events, coordinate the events, those kinds of things, I believe. So that's what I'm after, really. I don't care how we form the committee, but I think we need to put a committee together so that we can dot those i's and t's and come up with a suggested salary.
And maybe it can self-sustain that position also. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Depending on how busy we can get it. So I'm definitely open to, but I guess we gotta figure out.
But we do have, it's a community, and I agree with Councilor Smith. It's a community center. We don't wanna close it 5 days a week and only open it for events, you know, I mean, it's.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We wanna use it. I think we wanna use it. And, by using it, you have to have somebody there. Whether it's a paid person, a volunteer, somebody to just kind of oversee what's going on.
And hopefully maybe a combination of the two.
There are people that will step up and help a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't wanna work 8 hours a day volunteer anyway, but.
Right.
But
There are people who will, put in some time and effort.
Counselor, you have.
Just a comment, I think that we need to be careful with a committee. I mean, a committee, you can do a committee, but you've gotta make sure that the committee is restricted to the issues that Councilor Smith just disclosed, and not go into looking for a person to fill this position. You don't want that yet because you can get into some legal issues if you do that without approval for a position being created. So you need to have clarity and specificity regarding what the committee does. I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you. So I think what I'll do is, on the next agenda, put it in for discussion and a vote to, what type of committee we're gonna recommend.
Do you want me to put something together on the direction for the committee, a template?
Parameters, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, we just keep pushing this down the road, and the community center's gonna be in here, and then it's gonna be sitting vacant, and people are gonna be saying, why do we have a community center, and what are you guys doing about it?
Yeah, definitely follow up with that. Yes, sir.
My
My wife is a very happy volunteer at the Bosque Farms Community Center because the Peralta Community Center is not open yet. She is one of a dozen volunteers that works at least 2 days a week for the sheer love of it. One full-time employee, one part-time employee that takes care of the food, and then everybody else is volunteer and very dedicated. They love it. My wife's been keeping track of statistics, and about 1/3 of the people that go there on a daily basis for their senior lunches and activities are from Peralta. So there's already a good foundation of people that would immediately use the Peralta Community Center that was established. And I think you would find that there's a great group of volunteers that could join in with a full-time employee, and if you have additional paid employees, to make the Peralta Community Center awesome. My wife has been to Fred Luna's Center, the Belen Center, impressed with all of them. And there's no reason why Peralta can't be every bit as good, even better if we get creative. So just from a citizen standpoint, see what my wife has done at Bosque Farms. I know Peralta could do things that are phenomenal if it just gets going. Because a lot of citizens would want to be a part of it, to volunteer, let alone use the facility. So I'd like to encourage the counselors and the mayor to put together that committee and make it happen. A lot of us would jump right in and be a part of it.
Rick, do you mind, would you mind if I contacted her, or would you have her contact me? Your wife?
Yes, you bet.
I reached out to Rose already.
Okay.
And I,
So do you want me to have her call you at your work, or how do you?
Yeah, you can just, I'll give you my cell number if you'd like. You have Bonnie's?
I do not.
Okay, I'll give you my cell number if she doesn't mind.
Sure.
I just kinda like to get an idea of what she does there, and
You bet.
that's why I reached out to Rose, to kind of get an idea of what all responsibilities.
Yeah, and you know, I think if you get that right person in there, and Rose is very enthusiastic. If you get the right person, tremendous things can happen.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So what is your number, sir?
It's 505-450-7198.
Got it. Yeah, I'll have her call you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for your time for DECA, and for that item. Being connected to the Bosque Farms Community Center as husband of a dedicated volunteer, I wanted to just encourage you guys. There's so much that can be done that's phenomenal. And a lot of us would be glad to help out and make our community center wonderful, just to be volunteers. Yeah.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, any more discussion? No more discussion, we'll move on. Discussion / action item. A, consideration and possible action to approve task order for professional services with Molson Corbin, New Mexico 47 improvements for fire station.
Fire station
When we talk
intersection.
about fire station, we're talking about just the intersection.
Yeah, fire station intersection.
My thought on that is, we don't have a fire station yet. If we improve this intersection, it's, I'm sure gonna help the community in general, but, are we ever gonna have a fire station there is my thought, my question.
Excuse,
We have money.
Counselor, we have $1 million that we need to spend from USDA.
So we have to spend.
Right,
And
and
I'm aware of
right.
that.
As of today, or as of April is when it starts counting, we have 5 years to spend it.
And I know we have to spend that, but I mean, in the end, is it going to be for a fire station or just to have a better intersection? We don't know.
Yeah, but I think it's necessary for the fire station.
Well, I
for-
agree.
For them to have egress.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, for them to have egress, so I think that's really the whole purpose, is for the fire stations, to be able to use that.
So anyway,
Uh,
down to the budget or the estimate for that, we have the money to do that, and that's just for the engineering of it. And then construction of it, I don't know what that would cost.
total on this one's $181,000, am I correct in
And we
that?
have $190,000 in capital outlay that we've had for several
Yeah,
years.
and this grand total looks like it's 181.
181, third.
So, I had an issue with it, and I went over it with the mayor, on services not included. The proposal does not include, the second bullet point was environmental investigation. Well, I don't know whether environmental investigation is required. I mentioned to the mayor, the last meeting that we had, the clerk mentioned something, I believe, I could be wrong, but I thought she said something, because you asked a question, Councilman Otero, I thought, about environmental, on road construction, and she said it's always required. So is an environmental investigation going to be something that's required, because it's not included in this proposal?
According to our engineers, on the three items that you had questions about, the environmental investigation, says that we don't exactly know, but they believe that they will not require it. We just repaved that road 15 years ago. They didn't do an environmental study then. They doubt they're gonna need to do an environmental study, as well. And then, so then the other question that you had on there, Counselor Smith, was?
It was the last bullet item that
Last
says,
was street lighting.
this proposal assumes no street lighting will be required,
And
but
they've said we will need to be included as existing streetlights, we need to be reconnected if the meter streetlight controller relocates. Also, any existing streetlights may be, a signal light will need to be included in the design if existing signal poles are replaced or relocated, but they don't foresee us having to do that.
And see, that was my concern, and I'll tell you why, is because we don't know what they're doing with the existing signal posts, the lights, right now, whether they're gonna relocate them, replace them. Two of the street lights are on the signal poles. So, there is a chance that street lighting is gonna be affected. One street light is a standalone, the other two are on the signal, poles. So I think that street lighting might be required, but they're excluding that. I'm not sure why, cause it seems like that would be a part of the signal.
When you say street light, you mean a street light,
Yeah, not the signal light.
not the signal light.
Yeah, yeah, you know, they specified that it was not included, no street lighting will be required. It says this proposal assumes that, so the engineering for street lighting for that intersection is not included in this $181,000.
And we sent it back to them to double check on that, and the answer they gave us was what Corey just read.
Which is kinda like, they don't really know. I mean, that's what I got from that answer was, we don't know.
So what's your recommendation, how should we clarify it, is there?
But it seems like to me that Moles and Corbin could have reached out to their electrical engineering department and brought that comment that I made to their attention. And the engineer could have said, well, yeah, there's street lights on the signal poles, and we replace them, well, then we're gonna have to do something with the street lighting. But, I don't know. It just looks like to me that we're gonna approve, if we approve this, we're approving $181,000, but there's some items that they're not including that may still come up, as a change order or additional engineering costs that they're gonna come back and say, well, now that we started doing the engineering, yeah, you gotta do street lighting and.
Currently, do we pay for those street lights, or is it New Mexico DOT?
Should we, do you wanna table it and ask for a stronger clarification?
I don't necessarily want to table it, it's.
No.
I think we should approve it. And with the stipulation that they kind of make it clearer, I don't know how to say that.
Well, or we can approve it, just keeping in mind that there may be an additional cost besides this because they're excluding some things that may be required.
Counselor, does it help in any way that they did respond that chances are we won't use it, or does that even mean anything?
I'm with Counselor Smith, they really should have addressed this issue, in my opinion,
Very vague.
It's too vague, and, I don't wanna make a recommendation on the political policy, but they should have, if you approve it, and you do have to pay more, then you have to pay more, but.
And then as far as the time wise, is it something that a month is gonna make a difference?
Oh, then we could, let's give it a month, then let's table it. Are you okay with that, counselors?
Yeah, if it's not something we have to do today.
I mean, we got 5 years to spend the money, I guess, but,
For construction.
But I mean, like
for
you
the
said,
construction, but
Right, and then
I
if
agree.
we're gonna.
Let's get
clarification.
Yeah,
time
if you wanna
to-
get more, if Counselor Smith would email me his questions, and, or I can give you, his email and CC me, and we can have three of us talking at one time. It's up to how, Counselor Smith wants to do
Yeah,
it.
and you make recommendations on, like, who do you think we need an answer from, versus that, like you said, to their engineer,
Right.
we want something,
Yeah.
especially if we're gonna spend that much money.
Sure, we can do it however you decide to do it, if you wanna do it email or on a Zoom or on a conference call, or however you wanna do it.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
set it up with,
That's fine.
I'll set up with the engineer.
Okay, in order, in that case, I make a motion to table, consideration possible action to approve, task order for professional services, Wolf Corbin on the New Mexico 47 improvement fire station intersection. Table.
There's a motion to table it by Counselor Otero, is there a second? There's a second by Counselor Moya. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It passes. It's tabled. Thank you. Go ahead for that. Consideration and possible action to approve task order for professional services with Anchor Engineering for La Sombra Loop roadway and drainage improvements.
Does this come out of mountain money, is that what it's?
Yes,
And we have it, right?
yes. This is gonna come out, this will come out of the money, that capital outlay that we had for a more, that we got $515,000 from back 5 years ago, 4 years ago. And that's been reauthorized for various roads, so, we can use that money, the $489,000. 400.
But this isn't for the verge.
No, this is, for Peralta Boulevard for the drainage, or Peralta Road and La Sombra.
Yeah, this one and the next one,
Right.
right?
Yeah, hopefully once we get a cost estimate, we'll know exactly how much. I haven't gotten that yet.
Okay, so we, okay,
438,000, still working on that.
all right. And of that money, this is just the engineering, but the rest of the money has to be for the actual
Right,
the reconstruction of or the
right, we'll get a
repairs.
cost estimate as soon as he does the finishes
Yeah.
of design.
Okay, all
And
right.
his design cost is,
On this-
15,745?
Yeah,
15,745.
Yeah. So,
is that in line with what we've been seeing? Yeah, okay. All right. Councilman Otero, you up?
Well, I make a motion to approve consideration and possible, to approve the action, to approve task task order for professional services with Anchor Engineering for La Sombra Loop roadway and drainage improvements. And I think might as well just, well, I guess we'll do them one at a time. But also for the Peralta Drive roadway, we can do one at a time or together with it.
Yeah, it's on the agenda that way, so.
Yeah.
There's a motion made to approve by Counselor Otero, is there a second?
Second.
There's a second by Counselor Moya. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It passes. C, consideration and possible action to approve task order for professional services with Anchor Engineering for Peralta Drive roadway and drainage improvement.
I only have one question about that.
mhm.
Bosky Farms okay with that finally?
I have no idea. nobody asked me to contact them. I would assume they would be okay with it, but we have not had any
I mean,
communication.
we've been going around with that for a while.
Did,
Did they sign?
yeah, didn't we
They-
get a signed,
We signed an agreement with them, however, in the agreement, and this was for the annexation, there's a provision that their attorney, their past attorney put in there. I didn't wanna fight with them over it, but essentially, we offered, if you recall, we offered in our proposal to throw in that, maintenance of that road. They sent it back saying, no, we're gonna talk about this separately. And so when they signed off on it, they put a provision in there that said that we need to talk to them about that separately, but they will approve it once. It seems a little irrational, but it's what they want.
so let's do a motion based on, their approval.
Absolutely, I think you can do it that way, because they contemplated this in our discussions.
This doesn't cost them anything, so I don't know why
No.
they would, deny it, so, you want me to do it?
Yes.
Okay, under action item 10C, I make a motion that we approve the task order for professional services with Anchor Engineering for Peralta Drive roadway and drainage improvements, pending the Village of Bosque Farms approval. Is that good
Yes,
enough?
yes, sir.
Okay, thanks.
There was a motion to approve by Counselor Smith, is there a second?
Second.
There's a second by Counselor Moya. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes.
Bosque Farms approval.
With Bosque Farms approval.
Okay, got it. You got it, Steve?
I do.
D, consideration and possible action to approve a memorandum of understanding with the Village of Bosque Farms for use of their Bosque Farms ambulance.
Is it an MOU or an IGA?
For the ambulance, it's just an MOU.
It is, so the IGA I'm looking at is for rescue apparatus, not the,
This is how,
Temporary.
this is how the
I don't have
council
it.
of Bosque Farms,
Does theirs?
that's how they sent it to us.
I don't have the MOU in my packet.
It's
We have an
It's an
IGA.
IGA.
I have an IGA.
Yeah, that's how what they sent us.
We okay with that?
Yes. Either way, it's fine, it's just nomenclature.
So maybe when we make the motion, we clarify it as an IGA instead of an MOU, since the document's an IGA.
And I reviewed it entirely, it's fine, there's nothing in there that's inappropriate.
Okay, and my understanding is they're gonna loan us the ambulance and we're gonna maintain it?
Yes.
And we're gonna not only maintain it, but we're gonna insure it?
Well, it's insured through this, we all have the same insurance,
Okay.
you're self-insured, so it's
They'll
covered.
have, it's their asset, so they will have to insure it.
They'll have to insure it?
So we'll fuel it, use stuff that, oil changes, just the normal maintenance that comes with a vehicle.
And what about vehicle repair? I mean, like major repair?
For major repairs, we have to get their approval, that's not included in this, and so for normal day-to-day maintenance, we do that, that's our responsibility. If something breaks down, then, I mean, we can, honestly, we should terminate this if it's too expensive and let them deal with it. Or, I mean, you can do however you wanna deal with it, but it's not contemplated without their approval for repairs.
But we're not under that burden by signing this.
No.
We are not committing to,
Major repairs,
Major
correct.
repairs.
That's not defined. I mean, if I had a criticism, that would be it, but I don't think it's a problem. When I discussed it with a counselor, they believe that, and I think it's well defined in here, that normal maintenance
Is what we're
is
responsible
what we're responsible for,
okay.
without their approval otherwise.
Is there a motion?
You're
consider and possibly action to approve 30-day extension for EMS services to the.
No, the one before that.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Consider it a possible action to approve memorandum of understanding with the Village of Bosque Farms for the use of the Bosque Farms ambulance.
So your motion is to approve it?
There was a motion to approve by Counselor Moy. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a second by Counselor Otero.
Can we amend it to the
MOU
IGA?
Oh, yeah.
Instead of the MOU. Is that all right?
IGA.
And make amendment to, make it an IGA, as per how the document reads. Are you good with that amendment there, Counselor?
Yes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a second by Counselor Otero. Any more discussion? No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It passes. Consideration and possible action to approve a 30-day extension for EMS services to the Village of Bosque Farms. I'll speak up on that real quick. The mayor from Bosque Farms reached out to me, asking that they hadn't made a, I guess, they haven't made a decision on this, so he was asking if we could, do another 30-day, extension for them, so they can get, I guess, so they can get together and hopefully make a decision within, 30 days. So that's why it's put on the agenda.
Yeah, I think in their agenda, there was something that where it wasn't separated or something in their agenda, so they couldn't make a decision on it, if I remember right, but, are you okay with that, Councilman Otero?
I am always kind of deferring to,
Counselor?
well, Counselor, but to our EMS director.
I mean, if they are gonna let us use that rescue, then I feel like it is good, so it's kind of.
And we wanna be good neighbors
Yes.
still.
I don't wanna cut
We wanna
somebody off.
No,
No, we wanna continue to.
Where's police chief? We don't want to drive him off.
Did you have anything else to say, Counselor?
Only that it would be 30 days from the expiration, which is, I think, next week, so.
You okay with it,
Yes.
Councilman?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
me or you,
So
Councilman?
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Theirs is the 15th now.
Okay, you want me to do it, Council?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make the motion then on, action item 10E to approve the 30-day extension from time of expiration. Is that correct, Councilman?
Yes.
From time of expiration for the EMS services to the Village of Bosque Farms.
I'll second.
There's a motion made to approve by Counselor Smith. There was a second by Counselor Otero. Any more discussion? No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It passes. F, consideration and possible action to approve authorization for Mayor Chavez to grant the Village of Bosque Farms an additional 30-day extension if needed. Again, after speaking to the mayor of Bosque Farms, you know, he was hoping and he's positive that should be done within these 30 days. But again, you know, how Bosque Farms is working, trying to work together as a team, and we want to support that. So, I would just, and it was brought in front of the council just to, do you wanna give me the authority to go ahead and give them another 30-day extension if they need it, or do you wanna bring it back in front of the council?
I think we should go ahead and give the mayor the opportunity to extend that, and it doesn't have to come back before our agenda again, if that's,
Fine with me.
you okay with that, Councilman Moore?
Is there a motion?
Well, I'll move to approve authorization for Mayor Chavez to grant the Village of Bosque Farms an additional 30-day extension if needed beyond the 30-day that we just approved.
There's a motion made by Counselor Otero. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a second made by Counselor Smith. Any more discussion? All in favor?
All right.
All opposed?
Oh, I'm sorry.
All,
Sorry.
all opposed?
I am an aye.
It passes. Consideration and possible action to approve for 3B Builders to diagnose and complete the necessary construction repairs related to the foundation issue in the lobby area of Peralta Town Hall. On that one, Counselor, Romero had called me about that he was curious on that this had already been approved and why it was brought back on the agenda. It was because we could not get a quote on it because they could not do, they could not finish out to figure out how to do it. So what we're recommending now is for them to come in and actually do the work so they can give us an estimate on what it costs because they couldn't do it initially. You wanna add to that?
No, I mean, the camera,
Yeah, what you had just said
Right.
prior, right?
right, the camera,
So,
The problem with the action item is it says to complete the necessary construction repairs, so it's not just do whatever they have to do to see what the problem is. We approve this, we're approving them to go ahead, assess what the problem is, diagnose it, and then complete the necessary construction repairs to the foundation. So we're gonna, if we approve this, we're approving them to go ahead without a quote and make these repairs.
how does the council wanna address that?
You can limit the approval, Mr. Mayor, councilors.
You wanna limit it to where if it's a certain amount that we approve it, if it's more than that, we go back in front of us? Cause we should get we should get an estimate before the actual work is done.
Right. That's why I'm concerned with the way this is written.
Okay, so I guess you can, make a amendment to it.
Okay. All right, so I'd make a motion to approve 3B Builders to diagnose and complete any necessary, construction that they need to do to be able to provide a quote for the repairs to the foundation and submit that proposal accordingly. Is that all right, Councilor?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that way, because then if a quote comes in and it's kind of a large number,
we have to-
then we may decide that we wanna go out to, we can pay them for the work that they've done to
get us there.
and
Okay.
then decide.
I agree with that, thank you.
Is that the motion?
Yeah.
Okay, it's complete.
I'll also,
There
I'll
was,
second that.
there was a motion by Counselor Smith, a second by Counselor Otero. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It passes.
You got that, Steve?
I do, sir.
H, consideration and possible action to approve the COOP funding HW 2L 300 357 Traverse Road.
That's just to pay Birch Road and not pay Tino and Joe and put them back on the burner until we get, that design will be done, we just have to wait for more funding for it. We'll go ahead with, getting Birch paid.
This is the one that exceeded
The cost estimate came in, a little higher than what, our road's $1 million. And so, we just went ahead and we do have the money, extra money in our general fund, earmarked for this, if need be. And so, we do have the full money, but if it doesn't, there might be some kind of change or might be less than what the cost estimate was given to us by road construction.
$500,000 to do
Straight road,
a quarter of a mile.
$1 million a mile.
Tough one.
I mean, this money was the I think it's the co-op money that was given, it was designated when we did, paying for the co-op years ago, it was for Birch Dino job.
It was already,
Right, the
That
money
was
was earmarked
already-
for that, yes, through the
earmarked.
co-op, yeah. So, the other two roads.
Dino and
each one of those roads?
It's 10 on Dino.
Probably 10 on Jolly as well.
Yeah. And then on Burge, how many on?
Burge, tiny.
How many?
No, Burge, shoot.
21, I think, or 25.
There's 25
25 on Burge.
on Burge? There's that many? Oh, okay. Well, the numbers make sense then.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like it, if it was 10, 10, and 10, I'm like, those numbers don't work. For 10, you know, for 10 residents.
They're a little happy.
Little roads.
I didn't realize Burge had that many residents on it. Okay, all right.
Okay.
I have a question
The
too.
delegated
My
vote.
husband sent me to ask about the paving on that. He says if they'd be able to put speed bumps, cause as it is, the cars go fast.
On Birch?
UPS goes fast. They were saying, he was saying, the neighbors was asking about speed bumps on
Well,
the
that
road.
bumps up the cost quite a lot. I mean, we're not prepared for that right now. I'm in favor of it.
Is it a big cost for speed humps?
I-
Requires engineering.
You know, if we do it after the fact,
Is that included in this proposal?
no, but if it is done after the fact,
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so right now we'll just go with what's,
Burge is a dead end road, isn't it?
Mhm.
So the residents want speed humps for themselves?
no.
I mean, it's not a thoroughfare.
We want it for UPS and Amazon and.
I'm not in favor of speed humps.
yeah,
No, I mean,
oh, we won't. Okay, so is it?
put signs up.
Is there a motion?
Well, I'll make a motion to approve this co-op funding HW2 L 300-357 to Burge Road,
There was a motion made by,
presented by David Fox.
there was a motion made by Councilor Otero, is there a second? There's a second made by, a second by Councilor Moya, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It passes. The next regular meeting to be held on Monday, September 14th, 2026 at 5:30 PM at the Peralta Town Hall, 98 Molina. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
There's a motion to adjourn by Councilor Otero, is there a second? There's a second by Councilor Moya, all in favor? All opposed? It passes. The time now is 6:44 PM.